to Charm Chats. Apologies for the dankness of this episode. It is very warm in here. And also, it's episode 420, guys. She told me not to make any 420 jokes. I didn't think of any until she mentioned it.
And she gets a cold open out of it and everything.
Yep.
Let's start, shall we?
Yeah. Hi, guys, and welcome to Charm Chats with Kendra.
And Kat.
As I said before, we're on episode 420, Long Live the Queen.
Yes. This title is a reference to the proclamation, "The king is dead, long live the king." Or, when, it actually happened, "The king is dead, long live the queen."
Yes.
Because, that's a thing that actually happened in England.
Well, it's also happened in the reverse as well.
This is true. It is commonly used when one monarch dies and another takes the throne. This episode aired on May 2nd, 2002. We're going to get right on into it, because no time to waste.
Nope.
We get a night shot of the city where we can see that a thunderstorm is happening. There's a lovely bolt of lightning. It's very nicely done.
Mm-hmm. Inside Phoebe and Cole's apartment, we see Phoebe sitting cross-legged on her bed.
She is wearing a red silk nightgown and a black silk robe with gold embroidery details that kind of look like clockwork hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair is pulled up with a clip, and she realizes that the balcony doors are open and the rain is getting in. So she gets up and she closes them. There's a knock on the bedroom door as she's staring out at the storm. And then the seer walks in carrying a lovely little silver tray with 2 glasses on it that look like shot glasses on long stems.
Yeah, I think they're like aperitif glasses or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make
sense. They're
sense.
designed for the very, very sweet dessert wines.
Yeah.
Of which you really only need a shot. But they're so fancy, you might as well have it in a really skinny goblet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We hear some demons and Cole chanting in the other room.
The seer puts down the tray on, like, the dresser, I guess.
It's like a sideboard.
Yes, some kind of sideboard, but
Yeah.
it's in a bedroom, so is it not a dresser?
Well, it's a little side table.
Because a sideboard is for, like, dining rooms.
It's a side table typey thing with a plant on it.
Oh, I thought there were drawers on it.
I don't remember. There might have been.
Whatever. Anyway, seer sets it down, and then picks up one of the glasses. Phoebe asks if the seer can do anything about the thunder, because it's making her nuts. And the seer replies very sincerely that she has no sway over the weather, but she does have a friend who works with wind, but she's out of town.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I liked that little interaction. It was super cute.
Yes. Phoebe looks out the door and asks if the seer has sway over demons, because they're also making her nuts.
Yeah.
She takes a sip of the tonic, pulls a huge face, and declares that she hates this stuff.
The seer says that it's for her own good, which I thought was a lovely choice of words.
Yeah.
Phoebe asks about normal vitamins, and the seer says that there's nothing normal about her pregnancy, and the tonic is helping to strengthen her to bear the weight of the new powers she's gonna have because of this kid.
Phoebe hands her back the glass, telling the seer to find her something that strengthens her and doesn't taste like crap.
The seer asks if she's feeling okay, and then puts a hand on her face in the way that would be sweet if we didn't know better.
And Phoebe says she is, and then flops down on the bed and says she has a ton of work and she can't concentrate. She, of course, yells that last bit directly out the door, and a demon kind of walks by to, shut it for her.
Yeah.
Because she's bothering them now.
Yep. The seer questions the reason that she's working at all, seeing that she's now queen. And Phoebe says that she likes her work. It's a good distraction.
Seer asks what it's a distraction from and wonders if Phoebe is still struggling with her decision and hands her the tonic again.
Phoebe takes another sip and then hands it back and says that she loves Cole and she's enjoying the whole queen thing, but...
The seer, of course, realizes the issue is the sisters.
Phoebe says she doesn't understand why they're being so stubborn and aren't respecting her decision. Just sit on that one for a second.
Yeah. The seer reminds her that it's not in the nature of good to compromise and that they'll never understand and they'll only want to change her back.
She says that the sooner that Phoebe accepts that and lets them go, the happier she'll be, and she tries to hand Phoebe back the tonic. And then we hear a bang from the other room. It sounded like a little small explosion. And we have a small continuity issue. We never see Phoebe drink the tonic, but the glass goes from almost full to completely empty in a split second. So there was definitely a shot of her drinking it that they cut out for whatever reason.
For a whole 2 seconds of footage leeway.
Yeah, it was very weird, because the seer hands her the glass and it's nearly full, and then the next time she, like, within that same split second, she hands it back and it's completely empty. And I'm like, why did they cut out her drinking it?
Don't know.
And nobody noticed. Whatever.
Anyway, she asks what's going on out there, saying that all Cole ever does is work now.
The seer says that the underworld has been in chaos for a while, and he's got a big job to do.
Phoebe says she doesn't care. She wants her husband's attention and tells the seer that she's excused.
The seer tells Phoebe to be sure to drink the second glass of tonic when she wakes up, and then disappears with a nod.
So Phoebe goes out into the living room, tells Cole to come to bed, because it's after midnight, and Cole's like, sweetie, we're in the middle of a ceremony. And then a demon turns around to say that they're almost done.
This actor is Matthew Grant Godby, credited as Matthew Grant. This was his first acting gig, and he's only got 20 acting credits so far.
Phoebe says that almost doesn't work for her, and then throws fire at 2 demons, vanquishing them. The rest very quickly shimmer out, and Cole's like, honey, we talked about this. And so Phoebe blames her hormones.
So this time she's the one with the abusive tendencies. Of the getting mad and then apologizing. We go to the opening credits and there's still no Daryl.
Nope. I believe we get him next episode, though.
I hope so.
If I recall correctly, I think we do.
Cool.
But yeah. Evil Phoebe is very fun.
She has some interesting moments, that is for sure.
It reminds me of that one episode where someone was trying to turn all 3 of them evil by marrying Prue. Yeah. And I'm getting, like, almost the same vibe off of Phoebe right now as I did from Piper in that episode.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pigs in a blanket.
Very fun.
Yes. In the attic at the manor, Piper is making potions while Paige looks through the Book of Shadows.
Piper is in a long-sleeve brown V-neck shirt with a ribbed texture, and we don't see her legs, so I have no idea what she's paired that with. Her hair is down, and she's got that little diamond necklace on. Paige is in gray pants and a black spaghetti strap top that has a red polka dot fabric detail around the top that becomes a tie down the front. Not a bow tie, but a tie.
And it has, like, it's held up by belt loops on the top of the shirt.
Yeah. I actually had a shirt that had, it was like a red shirt with black cherries on it, and the top had those, like, little belt loops and had a little tie thing, and I just took that off because it looked like shit.
Yeah,
it looked bad.
In one shot, like in the beginning of this episode, the belt loops look like they're not centered with the straps. Like they're off center, but then later it's fine, and I don't know, it was like a weird angle thing. Maybe she just had the shirt twisted. Yeah, I don't know, but they were definitely in a different place at the beginning.
And it's one of those shirts where, like, it's cute for like a minute, and then you're just like, but why? You know? Why?
I mean, they're giving Paige all of the extremely weird options right now.
Yeah. She definitely has...
Phoebe gets, like, kind of quasi-boho a lot lately. And we will see some of that from her later in the ep.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And Paige has also paired this lovely outfit with a thick black fashion belt.
Yep.
And I'm calling it a fashion belt. This has become my new thing. If it is a belt that is not being worn like a belt should be worn to be useful, it's just a fashion belt. Because it is most definitely just a thick piece of it's basically a cummerbund. It's a big, thick, black piece of fabric that is tied with little strings at the back.
I'm sorry, say that word again?
Cummerbund.
Okay, I heard a B in there the first time. Like a second B in there the first time you said it.
No.
I mean, okay. I was about to make a.
Oh, you thought I said cummerbund?
Yes.
No.
I was like, oh, Doctor Strange.
Cummerbund. And her hair is also down.
And nice, like, loose curls.
Yeah. I enjoy Paige's hair. like, every time she has a hairstyle, it's usually very classic, and it's not, like, too over the top. Anyway,
Paige says she's gone through the book 15 times and can't find anything to help Phoebe.
To help save Phoebe.
Yes, to help save Phoebe. Piper says there's no magical cure for Phoebe's choice. Sorry, I just chuckled at Phoebe's choice.
Yes.
And Paige says that Phoebe is being influenced by the baby inside her.
Piper says that they could have helped her overcome that, but she chose Cole.
Paige, of course, yells at Piper to stop with the potions. They've already got a ton in the house. And then Piper holds another one up. Says it duplicates her. It's like a kind of a...
It was like a green, wasn't it?
Somewhere in between a lime and avocado green.
Yeah.
And she says... And it looked a little grainy. Like it was rice pudding inside.
That I couldn't tell.
Or maybe it was bubbles. I don't know. But either way, she says it duplicates her freezing...
It was definitely thick looking.
Yeah. She says it duplicates her freezing power, and then also says it scalds flesh, so it's for a dire emergency only.
Paige gets up, leaving the book on the seat behind her, saying that Phoebe is still their sister, and she doesn't want to scald her flesh.
Leo orbs in.
He is wearing black pants and a tan sweater that has 2 black lines across the chest.
He asks Paige how Piper is doing. She replies that she's Piper Light, all the personality, without any of those messy emotions.
Leo kind of gives her like a hold that thought kind of motion and tells them about a rumor on the demonic grapevine that the new queen is killing upper-level demons, including 2 the night before.
Paige asks what that means, and he says it looks like Phoebe's working from the inside for the good guys.
Paige thinks that's great, but Piper asks when they started believing rumors spread by demons. Which, fair. We go to an exterior shot of Phoebe and Cole's apartment building. Inside, the demons are sitting around that nice long glass table, conference table, and there is a hologram floating in the middle of it of a woman's head. Just sitting there.
With her, name... It's like a bust.
Yeah.
So, shoulders up. And there's, a name down by her collarbone.
Yes.
As it rotates.
Yes. And fun fact, according to the Wikia, this woman, is the head of the writer for the episode, Krista Vernoff. I just thought that was, really funny. That's a cute little nod of, well, we need a thing. We need an extra.
Let's get Krista.
Let's get Krista in here. There's one demon walking around the table. He's the one that closed the door earlier.
Yeah,
he's talking to all the others.
The longest leather jacket, which
Yes.
is apparently how they decide rank around here.
Apparently. He's talking to all the others. Now, we get 3 demons here that have lines and credits, so let me tell you about them really fast. I think I got them all correct. The one walking around the table will come to be known as Dane. He is played by Jeffrey Meek. He was born in 1959 in Fairfield, California, and he's got 39 acting credits between 1986 and 2013. The second one is credited as CD Demon.
That's CD as in the adjective, not the noun. Because honestly, I'd prefer a vinyl demon. And frankly, most of them are wearing that.
This is true. He is played by David Heckel. He only has 13 credits between 1999 and 2015. And our third demon, who gets the most lines for an uncredited credit.
Okay, the whole uncredited credit thing, that's just confusing.
Right? He gets lines, he's in the episode, but they don't actually give him credit. I don't understand what that's a thing.
But no, my confusion is, if they're uncredited, but it's a credit, why is it even, it should, what?
He's uncredited because he doesn't get credit on the show. His name never shows up in the show credits.
Okay.
But he's on IMDb because he's in the episode. And so it comes up as uncredited to let you know that he didn't get a credit on the show.
Well, that's just mean.
Yeah. So there's got to be a reason.
Demonic?
There's got to be a reason, because it happens a lot that people are uncredited even if they have lines and big parts. So I don't know what's up. Whatever. Our uncredited credit, we will learn at some point, is named Malik. He is played by Joel West. He was born in Indianola, Iowa, which is a town that I have never heard of, but it's apparently 30 minutes south of Des Moines. And he has 23 acting credits between 1991 and 2011. He's got a lovely little bald head, and it's very funny because every time I'd pause the episode, that would be the screen that would come up when I would go to press play again.
Yeah.
Like when it goes to, like, when I've paused so long that it has to
that's
reload.
the episode thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail is him sitting at the table. And I'm just like, he's not even credited, and he gets the thumbnail? Like, what the hell, man?
Anyway, he's got a nice pointy chin, too.
Yes. Dane says that the hologram that they're seeing is of Allison Witt, who is spearheading the campaign to clean up Dolores Park, which is an actual city park in San Francisco, known since 2016 as Mission Dolores Park, because it's apparently in the Mission District.
Fair. Both Malik and another demon sitting at the table.
The CD demon.
Yes, vinyl demon. Say that they have people in that territory, which, starts a small argument, and then Cole's like, babe, it's all my territory, which felt a little like the line in Avenue Q.
To be fair, he doesn't actually call them babe.
No, I know. No, it just felt a little bit like the line in Avenue Q where one of the characters stops the others from arguing. He's like, Jesus was Jewish.
Yes.
It's like the same mood.
Yeah.
It's like, let's settle this
the
argument.
same energy, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, the hologram then turns into a man who Dane says is Gregory Conroy, who's a probation officer to juvenile offenders, rehabilitating the worst of the worst, and he's cost them several potential demons. Now, this kind of reminded me a little bit of
that episode with
of
the
the
football player?
wrestling.
Yeah,
the
wrestling with your demons.
The wrestling with demons one. It was like, okay, so this guy is like rehabilitating bad guys to be good guys, so they're losing demons.
Boys, mostly, I assume. Not guys.
Whatever.
They're juveniles.
I'm using it as a generic.
But they're juveniles. They're babies.
Anyway.
They're babies.
But what I'm saying is that it's interesting to note that there is still a way that in canon lore that they are still able to just make bad guys into demons.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face it. Ron Perlman is a great face of the organization, but he cannot be the only person running it.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Side note, if I ever get a Maine Coon, I'm naming it Ron Perlman.
Alrighty then.
And yes, that will be spelled Purrlman.
Gotta love a cat pun.
Yep.
Cole tells Malik that he can have the guy, and he nods. And then Dane starts to say something, and then Phoebe walks in, and she is wearing, I think, my favorite outfit so far of the series.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I love this outfit. It is a black vest that's leather on the front and lace on the back, and it attaches at a single point in the center of her chest.
Like a tie.
No bra.
Like
no, it's like a hook and eye.
Oh,
like
yeah?
It's not even like.
I thought I saw a string.
If there was, I don't remember, but it was just, it's a tiny little clasp right in the middle of her chest. She's got no bra on at all. And she's paired it with a black skirt that has panels of like pink tulle on the front and these like awesome looking heels. And she's wearing this like chunky necklace and her hair is down and like legit.
And she's got
like,
a lot of eyeliner.
Oh my God.
It's all good.
Like legit 4 seasons of the show. I think this is my favorite outfit of hers so far from the entire series. And that's horrible to say because it's when she's evil. But
that's
like,
not horrible.
But like, she looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. We all know that the upper level evil always has the best fashion sense.
But like, even with the crabby bangs that I absolutely hate, it still looks banging.
They're not crappy.
They're so short and it just does not look good. But like,
that's your opinion.
I know.
You're that Vine. That's my opinion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's you.
Yes.
Except less shouty and not blonde.
Yes.
And also not a distorted face.
This is true. Anyway, it is just. I know we talk about our favorite outfits at the end of the episode, but like I could not hold back how much I love this outfit on her. It looks amazing, and she's only in it for like this scene, and it makes me so sad. Anyway,
the demons all shut the fuck up. They're shifting in their seats. They're kind of moving away from her.
Yeah, they're a little bit frightened of her, but on entrance.
Phoebe tells them to relax. She's there to cook, not to kill. And then jokes that they should keep their voices down anyway, and starts to make the fire throwing motion, and they all flinch, and she's just like, kidding. And then walks away.
Yeah.
And then walks over to Cole and gives him a kiss on the cheek.
And then she walks away.
Yeah.
And, like, Cole gets, like, a little look from Dane, and he looks back at Dane, and then he goes and follows her, and...
Well, it wasn't just that he, like, got a look from Dane. He stood up and looked at Dane.
And Dane kind of gave him this look of, like, get your wife under control.
Yeah.
Just with that one little look. So he follows Phoebe. She asks if his friends are going to be staying for dinner. And he says that he's worried they won't stay for the rest of the meeting if she keeps threatening to kill them.
She tries to apologize to him and says she was just kidding. And he's like, you've killed 5 of my best already. I'm missing the joke.
She says she's sorry. Cole says that he knows that he's been working a lot, but it should lighten up soon, and asks her to promise that she won't kill anymore.
And she hesitates for a while, and then says that she promises with all of the gumption of a rowdy 5-year-old. And he tells her that it's hard enough for the demons to accept the fact that his queen is a former charmed one. They don't want the demons to think she's playing both sides.
She says that she promised, but to make him feel better, she goes into the other room, and the demons once again do that, like, flinch, like, oh god, she's back kind of motion.
Yeah.
And she apologizes to the demons around the table for killing her friends.
And then goes to stand behind Malik, says it's nothing personal, and then puts her hands on his shoulders and immediately gets a premonition.
Yep. She sees that he's killing Gregory Conroy, whom she recognizes because of the hologram on the table.
I wonder if he has a brother named Kevin.
I do not understand the reference.
Kevin Conroy? Voice actor? Batman? He's literally Batman.
Okay.
Like in the animated series.
Okay.
Arguably the best Batman IP in existence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one with Will Friedle as Bruce Wayne? Or no, that was...
No, it's the one with Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Right, but isn't Will
Granted.
Friedle Batman in that?
No, I'm pretty sure Kevin Conroy is. Do we want to pause?
Yeah, pause.
Okay, so...
We were thinking of different things. That's the problem.
I mean, it is both true that Kevin Conroy was Batman and that he was Bruce Wayne. You were thinking of Batman Beyond.
Correct.
Not Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
I will say Batman Beyond is a very close second in terms of IP to Batman the Animated Series.
Yes. But I was like, I know that I've heard the name Kevin Conroy and Will Friedle in the same thing. I was
I'm sure.
Because I think I've brought it up here before.
I really fucking want to hear whatever Tim Curry's original Joker was that was apparently so creepy they had to ask Mark Hamill to come in.
Wow, yeah.
Because I've heard that story a whole bunch, that they had Tim Curry, like, record some stuff and then listen back to it, and they're like, this will give children so many fucking nightmares.
That's funny.
We can't do it. Like, I'm sorry, Tim. We gotta not. And then I know I don't know what it's an episode of. It might be the animated series. It might be something newer. Where literally all the characters in this one scene are Mark Hamill. Because it's Mark Hamill who's been abducted by an evil character played by Mark Hamill, gets rescued by a character played by Mark Hamill, and then the narrator is also Mark Hamill. And I'm just like, what?
That's amazing.
It's great. Oh, the Joker. I think the Joker was definitely in that scene.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
And they all sound both like Mark Hamill and like the characters. And I'm just like, what was this day recording like for him?
I'm assuming that it wasn't all recorded at the same time. I'm assuming that he did all the lines.
No, I know that. But like, it's got to be really weird, especially when you're recording the last voice in that series, to be like, you hear you, and then it's you, and then it's you, and then you have a line, and then you, and then, like, it's all you. You're just in a bubble of you.
But that's what I'm saying is from what I know from voice acting is it's not always, they're not always hearing the other lines.
Okay.
They're just recording their lines.
Still.
So
that'd be funny.
Yeah, it's still weird, but you know. And like legit, because I know that like Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey and Travis Willingham, they've said that like they'll record their lines and not have a clue about what the scene is that they're recording until it's over. Like, until it's, come out and then they watch it, and then they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, speaking of Will Friedle, did you see the video of him and Christy Carlson Romano making the Naco?
I did not watch it.
Did you post that to the Discord?
No,
I could have sworn you did.
no, I absolutely did not, because
Who did?
I am not
Because that's fucking adorable.
I am not a Kim Possible person. I've never actually watched it, so it wasn't me.
It's so good, though. The Naco.
It was Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
But yeah, no, I was never a Kim Possible watcher. It that came out after my time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never actually seen Kim Possible.
It's a good show.
Like, well, let me rephrase. I've never seen anything but the intro song, the "Call Me, Beep Me If You Want to Reach Me" thing. I've seen that only because every time my Go-Go Power Rangers thing comes off, someone goes, Kim Possible? It's like, no, it's fucking Power Rangers. Fuck off.
To be fair,
they are very similar.
It's the Kim Possible thing with an additional 2 notes.
Yes, it is very similar. I will give it that.
Do is Kim Possible. Do like is Power Rangers.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is very similar. I will give it that. But yeah, no, I was much more Power Rangers than Kim Possible. So,
Yes, Blue.
I'll get around to watching it at some point. Just not today.
Yes, do your front leg stretchies. It's very cute.
So let's get back to the show and ignore the dog.
Yes.
So she has the premonition of him killing Gregory Conroy, whom she recognizes because of the hologram on the table. Cole starts to ask if she got a premonition, but she says that it was just a cramp and that she needs to lie down.
He asks if he should call the seer, but she's like, no, I'm fine, goes into the bedroom, and then pauses to listen at the door, learning that Gregory spends his time at Mission Hill Community Center. She then picks up the remaining tonic that's on the tray and pours it into a potted plant with a flower on the table. And as she turns around and we get a shot of her taking off her vest and walking away from camera, we see dry ice coming out of said potted plant.
Yes, it is a lovely bit of smoke.
Well, it's not smoke.
It's like vapor.
Yeah. It's dry ice. They put dry ice in that plant and then she poured water on it and so it activated.
Yes.
Or possibly they just kept it out of frame until they needed it.
Sure. Over at the manor, Piper is sitting on the floor in front of the coffee table in the parlor, showing Paige and Leo some potions. So once again, I can't see her pants.
Yeah.
Just saying. We learned that she's got some that are what she calls magical mace, which aren't meant to do serious harm, but will slow down an attacker, and some more lethal ones like explosives, paralytics, and poisons. Leo questions if she's going to poison Phoebe. Piper reminds him that Phoebe is carrying the spawn of the source and throwing fire from her hands, so they're gonna need to protect themselves.
Paige says Piper isn't giving her a chance, but Piper says that they gave her every chance and she chose the source of all evil over her family. And right at that point, Phoebe flames in the doorway to the living room.
She is wearing tan pants and a purple top under a tan suede jacket with fringe.
Like cowboy fringe.
It is fringe on the arms. It is
across the chest.
Fringe across the chest. It is fringe on the bottom too, I think.
And to tie it all together, she's got a diamond horseshoe necklace.
Yep. She's worn this necklace before. She's been wearing this necklace a lot.
But now she's wearing a cowboy jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she yells, surprise!
Mm-hmm.
Piper, of course, quickly grabs one of the potions, I think from the magical mace section.
Yes, I do believe so.
And tosses it toward Phoebe, but Phoebe, throws the fire, destroys it, and replies, nice to see you too.
Yeah, nice to see you too, Piper. We can finally see that Piper has paired her shirt with jeans as she stands up and asks what Phoebe wants. Phoebe says that she thought they'd be happy to see her, and Paige is like, I am? And then Piper scolds her, which I thought was very funny. And Piper says that unless Phoebe is there to tell them that she's filed for divorce, they don't have much to talk about.
Phoebe says they could talk about how rigid Piper is, and that it's not of terribly attractive quality, and Piper pauses and then reaches for another potion.
Leo stops her and asks Phoebe what she's doing there. Phoebe says that she had a premonition, and they don't have a lot of time to save an innocent.
Paige seems really excited by this news, but Phoebe's like, I didn't change my mind. I'm not leaving Cole. I'm not renouncing my crown, but I've never ignored a premonition, and I'm not about to start now. And she, like, sits in a chair in the corner.
Yeah. Piper then reminds Phoebe that she is literally the queen of all evil. And Phoebe's like, why does that matter? And Paige is like, we should work together. We should totally do this. Let's save this innocent.
Piper questions her and pulls Paige and Leo aside. Paige says that they've been hoping for a sign of good left in Phoebe, asking why else she'd care about saving the innocent, to which Piper says it's a trap.
Yes.
Paige says that this could be their only chance. Leo agrees and says that helping Phoebe do good might sway her back to their side, and Piper kind of finally gives in reluctantly.
Paige tells Phoebe they'll follow her, and Piper grabs some of the lethal potions for insurance.
Mm-hmm. We cut to an alley as Piper and Leo orb in behind some crates, and there's like a giant wooden spool for like chains or some shit, or like pipes.
It's an industrial spool.
Yeah, an industrial spool. The kind that make for great set dressing for tap dancers.
All right.
And Phoebe flames in front of them.
And then Paige orbs into the mud off to the side.
And I figured out what it is about the difference between Paige's orbs and Leo's orbs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're often very similar colors, slight difference, but mostly it's that Leo's orbs have a nice vertical element. Like, they come up, they go down, they have these nice vertical, like, lines of the sparklies. And Paige's look like swarming flies. Like, they're much
more haphazard.
Or, like, if you cup your hands above a bucket of water and then push them down and just release the water from down, it all bubbles up in the same, like, spot, but, like, goes outward. It kind of looks like that.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
And they have different sounds, like Leo's are a little more resonant and Paige's are like high pitched and like nee. So again, flies.
Alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Glad you figured that out. Mm-hmm. Phoebe's jacket is now open, and we can see that she is wearing an underbust corset in stripes of blue, purple, pink, and yellow over the purple tank top. And it's actually a really cool looking corset. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very, very nice looking.
Are you doing stretchies?
Ignore the dog.
But he's cute.
But I don't want to have to cut around what you're saying. Anyway, so it was actually a really cute corset. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Leo has, of course, added a black jacket to his outfit. Piper added a brown leather one to hers.
Which made her shirt look more black than brown.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. For a second, I thought she had changed shirts, and I was like, no, it's just the shade
lighting.
The shade of the brown of the jacket is making the shirt look darker.
Yeah, and Paige has added a red-orange jacket that has like some knot detail with the front closures.
Yeah, it's like a. I don't want to say it's Celtic because it's not really Celtic, but
no, it's not. It's almost
it's
more
an
Asian.
Ornate. Yeah, but it's an ornate knotting, and I really like this jacket. Mm-hmm. It is a really cool looking jacket.
Yeah. Phoebe motions for them all to hide behind the crates. And Leo's like, how do you know when the innocent is going to be attacked? And she's just like, I know.
Yeah. And then Gregory walks around the corner and she points him out. This actor is Jamie Gomez. He was born in 1965 in Los Angeles, California. And he has 64 acting credits between 1988 and 2016. Some people might recognize him from his time as Evan Cortez on the show Nash Bridges from 1996 to 2000, but that was his only big role. Thank you for kisses on the dog. Malik shimmers in behind him.
Piper freezes Gregory, but not Malik, who looks around confused. Piper calls out to him, and as she goes to blow him up, Phoebe, like, grabs her arms and knocks into her.
Yeah.
And she turns and instead blows up a bicycle that's locked to a pipe.
Piper asks what she's doing.
Sorry, it's a chrome and orange bicycle. This will matter later.
Yeah. Piper asks what she's doing, and then an energy ball appears in Malik's hand, and Phoebe walks toward him and tells him to stop.
He kneels down before his queen. She tells him to leave that innocent alone and go, and he shimmers out.
Piper, Paige, and Leo just stare at her, and she seems a little confused by their confusion, and is like, what? He's one of my subjects. And then we go to commercial.
Kind of sheepishly, too.
Yeah. It was one of those where, like, you're watching this moment, and it's that like, okay, it has the same mood for me from Legally Blonde when Warner goes, "You got into Harvard."
What? Like it's hard?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was that same like what? He's one of my subjects. Like it has that same mood for me.
Similar, definitely for me.
Yeah.
Although it reads more as like a, oh, you didn't know I was a secret internet celebrity? Yeah, people know me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So we return a few moments after we left with Piper freaking out at Phoebe for letting the demon go. Phoebe reminds them that they saved the innocent, and Piper's like, I can't deal with her anymore.
Leo starts to say something, but Phoebe says that things aren't black and white anymore, and she can't go around killing demons.
Paige
like
says,
she used to.
Yeah.
No.
Paige is like, but we heard you killed 2 last night. And Phoebe's like, that was different. They were getting on my nerves. And she says she promised Cole not to kill anymore, and that killing Malik would have been a huge betrayal.
And this is when we learn that the demon's name was Malik, and Piper is annoyed that Phoebe is on a first-name basis with the demons. Leo asks why she came to see them if she was just going to order the demon to stop.
Phoebe's like, I missed you guys. Is that so wrong? And Leo, of course, tells her she can't be the queen of the underworld and a charmed one. Can't have it both ways. Phoebe's like, but why not? It might be different, but it could still work. I know you miss me, even if Piper doesn't want to admit it.
Paige is like, yeah, we miss you. And Phoebe's like, well, you can have me back. You know, you can still have the power of 3. You just have to meet me halfway. Piper, of course, tells her that they can't protect the innocent and save demons, and Phoebe doesn't really understand why. And Paige is like, you know he's going to come back, right?
Yep. Phoebe says that she doesn't know that, but Piper says that's what they do. They snarl and come back.
Which was my favorite line.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect line for that moment. It's like, they snarl and they come back. It's just what happened.
Mm-hmm. Paige says they'll now be worrying about protecting the innocent instead of trying to save Phoebe.
Phoebe questions that they think she needs saving, and Piper says that the baby inside her has corrupted her more than she thinks. Which, so many levels to that.
Yeah.
So many levels.
Mm-hmm. Phoebe tries to Piper her, but Piper says that Phoebe is being insane and that she can't work with them as long as she's married to the source.
Phoebe asks if they want her to leave her husband. Piper says yes, and Phoebe says that's not fair.
Too fucking bad, Phoebes. Leo tells Phoebe that she has to pick good or evil, give up someone she loves, and choose a side.
Phoebe says she's sorry they feel that way, and flames out.
Piper says she can't do this and starts to walk away, but when Paige asks about Greg, Piper, walks past him as she unfreezes him.
Yeah.
And then she's just gone.
And he doesn't notice her. There's no recognition in his eyes that anything weird has happened.
Mm-hmm. And also, it looks like he's not... It might just be the lighting, but, it looks like he's coming from the opposite direction that he had been or something. I don't know. Maybe it was just the way the shot was framed completely differently.
Yeah, it could
be. But
be.
it didn't look like the background was the same for him.
I wasn't paying that close of attention.
Anyway, but he walks over to where his bike was chained, gets upset when he sees that it's gone, and we see the bike lock. It's still locked. And then turns around and gets a little startled by seeing Paige and Leo, and asks them if they saw someone take a chrome and orange bicycle.
Yep. Now, the funniest part for me in that whole thing... I realize now that we forgot to turn off the air. That's fine.
Fuck that. It's too hot.
Yeah. The funniest thing for me in that moment is the fact that the bike was there when he walked out.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to your bike, you'd be looking at your bike, and then it just disappears from your eyes and you don't notice it.
I mean,
there are so many...
human brain cannot comprehend a great deal of things. Do you know that your eyes don't actually register movement? They just fill in the gaps between images that they transmit to your brain. You don't actually see movement, which is why, and you can test this if you look at a clock with a moving second hand, which is why the first second feels longer, because your brain is stalling until it can actually transmit the information.
That one doesn't have a second hand.
No, it's also off.
Yeah,
I took the battery out. But yeah, you can look at that.
Interesting.
And it'll appear to the first second hand time you see the second hand move will appear to take longer than every subsequent time.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Brains are weird.
Yes, I'm aware.
Mm-hmm. But, like, brains are already very fucking weird.
Yeah. And then you get hit by a truck when you're 8 and they get weirder.
Yep.
Anyway.
Paige says no, they haven't seen anyone on said bike. Greg wonders why he bothers even locking it and then walks off.
Paige asks what they should do, and Leo says they should follow him.
We cut to an underworld cave where Cole is walking and talking with Dane about cleaning out the animal sacrifice spaces. Apparently it's a waste of space.
Mm-hmm. Malik then walks up, and a guard stops him from getting any closer.
I swear we've seen this guard before.
Yes.
Wasn't he in the weird armor shit last episode?
Yes, it is the, what was his name?
Is he the white one from Jamaica?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly who that is.
Thankfully, he does not have dreads. Just slightly long hair.
Yeah, I don't have...
And also, this is his final episode. Spoilers, y'all.
This is his final scene. Spoilers, y'all. Anyway, the
guard said white Jamaican guard
Yes.
stops him from coming any closer. And Malik says he has news for the source concerning his queen. And so Cole's like, is she okay? Has she been hurt? And Malik's like, no, but the Charmed Ones interfered with my kill.
Cole then kind of turns and looks at Dane and is talking to the whole group of them and says that he has no control over his in-laws and suggests that he bring backup if he wants to take them out.
Malik says that the queen was with them and ordered him not to harm the innocent. Cole walks up,
Gets right in his face.
asks if he told anyone else. Malik replies in the negative, and Cole, while holding the scruff of his neck, puts his forehead Malik's and thanks him for his loyalty. And then his eyes go white and flamey, and Malik bursts into flames.
Yeah, we're
It's
shown
like, never tell your evil boss.
that you didn't tell anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
We are shown the burning as a reflection in Cole's eyes.
Well, no, his eyes just normally do that when they go to
No.
do
but,
the flame.
No. But like we are shown the reflection of
Okay,
him
okay.
burning. Like it was a moment that they physically showed us the reflection of Malik burning in Cole's eyes, and it was like a close up of Julian's face when this
Yeah.
happened, and it was just so weird.
Mm-hmm.
For that, like, it felt like a weird change in tone, even though it really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
This is very on par for evil, anyway.
Yeah.
And then once Malik blows up, Cole turns to White Jamaican and makes him flame up.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny, like, his eyes kind of turn to black, and that's when we see, like, the reflection is in the black eyes, and he turns to the guard who stopped him from coming, and immediately vanquishes him, too. And then turns to Dane, and this is when we finally learn his name, because Dane is just like, am I next? And Cole, being the moron that Cole is like, no, I trust you. What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what now?
No, you
Oh,
don't.
Cole. Cole.
Rule
I
of
don't
being
like
a demon. You don't trust other demons. Wasn't
Right?
that in Good Omens?
Yeah.
Like
you don't
do we
trust
trust
anyone.
him? No, we don't fucking trust him. And then Michael calls down and is like, I'm an angel, you can trust me. And I'm just like, that's antithetical to everything demons are. They don't fucking trust anyone, Michael. Come on.
But, like, legit, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Why are you trusting anybody?
Yeah.
Like, you should have learned already not to trust the
Literally-
seer, not to legit, just stop trusting people. Like, Cole, I don't like you, and yet
You're rooting for him in this
I am
one
rooting
thing.
for him in this one thing, and then he fucks it up.
Yep.
Oh, god damn. Anyway.
It would have been saved so well if he'd added for now.
Yeah.
Like just that one thing would have, it would have made cutting Phoebe drinking the tonic, and so there's suddenly an empty glass. Like maybe that's what you should have cut that for,
Yeah.
and just to add, like 3 seconds of pause for now, and then go.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's all you need. Like demons don't trust.
But instead, what the line that he says is no, I trust you. It's just my damn life. Yeah. Dane says that he should take care of the innocent before anyone else hears about this. And then Cole waves his hand and a demon with shaggy hair and a leather jacket appears and bows before my liege. And Cole's like, get up. We have a job for you. This actor is James Leo Ryan. He has 36 acting credits between 1999 and 2018, and almost all of them are single episodes of TV shows. And he is like live-action Scooby-Doo, like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
It is just...
But, like, wider. Not fat, just wider.
Well, yeah, but like it is the shaggy,
Because he's
unkempt hair.
He's no Matthew Lillard.
Nobody is Matthew Lillard except
know.
Matthew Lillard,
Yes.
and Matthew Lillard is amazing.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
We jump to Leo and Paige, who have followed Greg to an AA meeting.
yes, Alcoholics Anonymous. It is a mutual aid fellowship meant to help its members stay sober and help others achieve sobriety. It is, according to them, non-professional, self-supporting, and apolitical.
But in reality, it's pretty religious.
It is very religious because the 12 steps tell you to put your faith in a higher power. Though I will be honest, it doesn't mention put your faith in God. It just says put your faith into a higher power. But I still have an issue with that as a concept of don't take responsibility for your own actions. Somebody else is taking over your life. Fuck you.
Also, I'm pretty sure they have Bibles at meetings.
Yeah, that I don't know. I've never been to one. But they do give out sobriety coins or chips indicating how long a person has been sober. Each chip has a specific color that indicates the milestone that it represents. And it starts with a 24-hour chip and then goes to 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And then I think it's every month has one up into 1 year. And that's like the main thing. I'm not going to mention all of the colors, but you know that the wiki will be there. And
Yeah,
you can
I'm
look it all
pretty sure
up.
you can get them like put on keychains pretty easy.
Yeah. Or, you know.
Or maybe they come on keychains?
No, they're just chips. They're just
Okay.
little tokens. Now we hear a woman at the podium, at the front of the hall, talking to the room about what being in AA means, and IMDb has this actress as uncredited, and her IMDb is just weird. Now I shared this with the Discord because this is by far the weirdest IMDb like thing that I have ever seen. It says that her name is Chelsea Bond, but it says that she has 5 alternative names. Tracy Kimball, which is the name in her bio, Tracy Ann Kimball, Trace Anna Elizabeth Kimball, Senigiran Nana
No.
Hoshiko. I don't even know how to say that one.
Sanjarin Nana Hoshko.
Sure. And Chelsea Lee Bond.
She made one of those up for Japan for some reason.
Like, I just don't understand what is happening. And the 2 pictures that she has on this IMDb look like 2 completely different people. Like, it doesn't even look like one is a younger picture and one is an older picture. They look like 2 completely different women. But it says she has 13 acting credits between 2001 and 2017, and 11 of those are all uncredited.
Wow.
And the final one that has her as the first one that has her as credited has her credited as Tracy Kimball, and the other one has no like caveat of the name, so that has to be under Chelsea Bond. And that one is one that she wrote, produced, starred in, directed, all of that. And it's just like
So it's a one-woman show.
but it isn't. But like,
No, I know.
But I am so confused by this IMDb.
That is bizarre.
It is the weirdest. It is just so weird, and it makes no sense. Anyway, I was just so confused by this.
Yeah. Leo asks Paige if she thinks that Piper is okay. Paige says she thinks it's good that Piper is feeling something again, and then Leo mumbles an agreement.
Thank you, Blue. We hear the woman ask if anyone is celebrating 30 days of sobriety, and a man gets up from the crowd, and I immediately recognized him.
And oh my god, I did not. His hair is so different.
Yes, this actor is the one and only Aldous Hodge.
I had to just now go back and look and be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it is.
He was born in 1986 in Onslow County, North Carolina. He has 70 acting credits so far, starting back in 1995. His first role was in Die Hard with a Vengeance, but I know him and love him as Hardizan on Leverage.
Oh, yeah. And he was also in Hidden Figures. There we go.
Okay, I haven't seen
As,
that.
I believe, Janelle Monáe's husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I believe I have the DVD in there.
Alrighty.
It might also have a Blu-ray in there. I forget.
Okay. But yeah, I immediately saw him and I was like, oh my god! We will learn later that the character's name is Trey.
Mm-hmm. But we only get quick shot of him.
This quick shot and one
then,
quick shot
and
later.
And then one where we hear his name. Like, it's very short. No wonder I didn't recognize him because the footage is pretty fucking grainy.
Yeah.
And his hair is,
he actually has hair.
Has really, like, short dreads. I don't know if there's a specific term for that, but, like...
yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Short dreads, I guess.
They look like really adorable little rag curls.
Yeah. Anyway, Leo asks if Paige thinks they should give Piper some space because when she lost Prue, she barely survived, and he's worried about what she's going to do if she thinks she's also going to lose Phoebe.
Paige tells him to go talk to Piper and remind her there's a demon to fight and it might help her take her mind off of Phoebe. She says that she doesn't think Malik is going to attack Greg in front of the entire AA meeting and tells Leo to get Piper and bring her back before it's over.
He says okay and leaves, and we see Greg and the newest Shaggy Demon sitting in the crowd watching Greg.
And this entire one, I'm just like, hey, guys, if you're trying to covertly follow him, Paige of the red-orange bright jacket,
maybe sit down. Yeah.
Because you see Greg look directly down the aisle at them.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she's just standing in the back next to the coffee.
Nope.
It's like, sweetheart, pick a seat, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Stop being so obvious. Anyway, we jump over to Phoebe's office at the Bay Mirror. Phoebe is sitting at her desk wearing dark red pants.
Like a burgundy velvet.
Yeah,
They're gorge.
Very nice. And a long sleeve white lace shirt over...
Was it a shirt? I thought it was just like a jackety type thing because it was very open front.
It was like a little shrug kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like a shrug bolero thingy.
Yeah, with like a ruffled trim.
Yeah.
Over a white satiny tank top type thing with lace trim. It looks very negligee.
Yeah.
Like somebody took a nightgown and just kind of made it into a top.
Mm-hmm.
She has no bra on.
Of course not.
Which we can tell because the stitching on the shirt basically is where her nipples are.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like her boobs kind of move in and out of the designated cup area.
Yeah. Her hair is down, and she is still wearing the diamond horseshoe necklace, and she has her glasses on for at least the beginning of this scene.
Mm-hmm. Elise walks in, chuckling, kind of sarcastically, asking for the real column. Phoebe questions her, and Elise is like, yeah, I appreciate the laugh, but I need the real pages.
Yes. I love the way that she says it. She goes, I appreciate an evening chuckle.
Yep.
I don't know why, but just the concept of evening chuckle was just fun to me.
Yeah, Phoebe gets very defensive and asks if Elise is calling her writing a joke. So Elise reads what Phoebe wrote, which is for a woman to beat her cheating husband over the head with his secretary's stapler, and maybe he'll think twice about bending her over her desk again.
Yeah, Phoebe sits down and says that it's harsh, but it makes a point.
And Lisa's like, it makes a lawsuit, Phoebes.
Yeah. Elise then questions if Phoebe is looking to lose her job. Phoebe gets up and asks if Elise is threatening her.
Elise tells her, get it together, get a shrink if you have to, but rewrite this.
Yeah, rewrite it fast.
And then we see Cole walk up behind Elise as she turns to leave, and as Phoebe puts a hand behind herself to gather some fire in her palm.
Cole lets Elise pass. Phoebe puts out the flames with a kind of sad look in her eyes.
Yeah, she crunches her hand together. And then Cole very casually says, if you want to kill your boss, we've got people to do that.
Yeah. Phoebe says that he's sweet, but that Elise was right that her column has been off lately. Cole then closes the office door, saying he doesn't understand why she's working because she's, the queen.
And she projects and says he's cranky, but she's not quitting her job. He asks if she's going to keep her other job, too, And she kind of tries to foil him and asks what job he's talking about.
He tells her that Malik told him that she was with the Charmed Ones. She says that she let him go, and he yells that that doesn't make it okay.
So she, not quite yells, but tells him to keep his voice down. This is where she works. And, like, snaps the blinds shut to her office.
Yeah, it's hilariously funny how they always shut the blinds when they don't want people to hear what's happening.
Well,
It's
I
not like
mean,
that
I
does
take
anything.
off my headphones to smell things better. Like,
Yeah.
the brain is weird. We've
Yeah.
been over this.
Yep.
And
Anyway.
also, you don't want them attempting to read your lips either.
Well, yeah, no.
Because if someone's
it's
having
more-
an indistinct argument, like, if people can see in, it's going to be a lot harder for them to ignore it.
Yes. No, I understand why she did it. It was just funny.
Yeah.
I was like, you're being loud. Keep your voice down. This is where I work. And then they still start yelling at each other again. So it's
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
they're not being subtle about what they're talking about either. He's telling her that she can't save an innocent and free a demon.
She says he sounds like Piper, and he's like, yeah, Piper's right. You made a choice to stand by me. And if you don't want to do that, if you're questioning that, you have to let me know.
She says that she, of course, wants to be with him, but doesn't understand why he's being so rigid, which is the same thing she told Piper.
Yeah.
So I think it's very interesting that that's the choice of words.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being so rigid?
Uh-huh. He yells that it's because he's the source, she's his queen, and there are expectations. And she's like, you think I give a shit about expectations? He's like, this isn't a game, Phoebe. You walked through a one-way door. Turning around would destroy us.
She thinks he's talking about her sisters, but he's like, no, the entire underworld would revolt if they think that we're working both sides. And if they unite against us, we will pray for death. Which, just that thought of, like, the source is worried.
Yes.
You know? Like, this is not a good thing that's
He
happening.
might
right
be
now.
very powerful, but he is not immune to literally his entire underlying body.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. She starts to apologize. He says that he understands more than anyone. She asks how to not let it rip her apart. And he says that she needs to make a choice and stick to it, even if it means giving up the people you love. And then he says, let's go home. She takes his hand and they flame out. Just leaving her work to be done.
Yeah.
It doesn't get done. She somehow doesn't lose her job, I'm assuming, though.
Yeah.
They're...
although, yeah, in this moment, like, Cole is a pretty sympathetic character. Like, yes, he's fully fucking evil, but, like, he makes a point.
Yes, he makes a point, and in this moment, like...
And the acting is very good. Thank you, Julian.
Yeah, I like the... Again, I don't like Cole, but in this moment, I agree with Cole.
Yes.
It's like, you
He's not
made
wrong.
a choice. Yeah.
What's that one Onion article? The worst person you know made a good point.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't like him, but he's right.
Yep.
It's like, and again, he's saying the same thing that Leo has said to her,
Yes. And Piper.
and Piper has said to her, is you've made a choice, but now it's not even just like you've made a choice, it's you have to make a choice and stick with it.
Yes.
Even if it means losing someone you love.
Mhm.
And so that little moment is milling around there.
Yep. We jump over to Leo orbing into P3.
The club is closed. There are chairs up on tables, and Piper is sitting on a chair with her feet on the table, with her eyes closed and
Is-
her arms crossed.
Is this, like, raised platform a space we've ever seen in P3
I don't
before?
think so.
Because I don't think so either.
I don't think so. It's like a little like extra area where there's like a railing,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't think we've ever seen this spot.
Yeah,
before.
no, I don't think it existed previously.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it means that Piper gets to have her feet up on, was it the table or
Yeah,
the
it was on-
railing?
it was on the table.
Yeah, just like, and Leo gets to, like, lean on the railing.
Yeah.
Like, it was good set dressing.
Yeah, it was nice. And then we see that there's a bar bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey sitting on the table. And I know it's a
With
bar
the-
bottle
with the
because it
little
has the
spout.
little spout on
Yeah.
it. Right. Which is why we know it's the bar bottle.
Yeah.
because of the spout. Now, I'm not going to tangent on it, but a little fun fact about Jack Daniel's whiskey. It is produced in a distillery in a county of Lynchburg, Tennessee called Moore. Now, Moore County is a dry county, so you can't actually buy any alcohol in the county at any of the stores or any of the restaurants. because it's a dry county.
That's dumb.
I just think that's hilarious. It's like, yes, we can make the whiskey here. We just can't sell the whiskey here. Now, I also think it's funny, and again, like, I found my favorite new map. I put this in the Discord.
The dry, the wet, and the moist.
Yes.
counties.
Yeah, because there are dry counties, which are basically counties where alcohol cannot be sold. There are wet counties where alcohol can be sold. And then there are moist counties where alcohol can be sold under certain situations.
Why the fuck is Cook County a moist county? I've never been in an instance where you couldn't buy alcohol. Like,
I believe because Cook County is one where you can buy alcohol until a certain point of the night.
I mean, I've never experienced that.
That's my assumption.
Like, okay, so the only restriction I've known to buying alcohol in Cook County is whenever the fucking store closes. That's it. That's not a, like...
No, because I've seen like grocery stores that are open 24 hours a day. You can only buy alcohol until a certain point in the night.
Okay, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I have been to like in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They can't sell it on Sundays. So they have these nice, like, plastic chains that they put across the alcohol aisle on Sundays. And I remember going RV camping with my friend and her parents. And they were going to make dinner on a Sunday when we were up there. And he's like, I really want to, like, try this, like, white wine sauce. And then we get to the store and, like, oh, shit, can't buy white wine.
Yeah. No, my absolute favorite thing ever is I don't remember what city it's in, so you'll have to forgive me. But I know that there is a bar where the front of the bar, it's a bar that's in two counties. The front of the bar where all the alcohol is sold and where all the tables are and all of that is in a wet county. So they can sell all the alcohol. The bathroom is in a dry county. Because it's at the back of the bar.
Yeah.
So you can't bring your drinks with you when you go to the bathroom.
Well, okay.
That's
weird because, like, they aren't being sold in that county. You're just drinking them in the bathroom.
But that's basically, like, I think it's a rule that
that's
they put up
probably
in
just a gimmick.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. But it was just very funny. I was like, the bathrooms are in a dry county. And I think that's hilarious.
You gotta drain the glass before you tap the keg.
That is a gross image.
I've also heard it called breaking the seal.
Yes, that's usually what we called it. Breaking the seal. Anyway.
And then insert here gif of that Elmo dancing on the potty.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because you never realize how drunk you are until you sit on a toilet.
Oh, man. Anyway, Piper says they're closed and that she doesn't want to talk. Leo starts to say that he knows how she's feeling.
And she's like, even more than I don't want to talk, I do not want a pep talk.
Yeah. He asks what she's doing, and she says that she's trying to stop herself from feeling like the failure she is. And then she pours herself a small shot of whiskey.
Into a lowball glass.
Yeah, it's a lowball glass, but she puts basically just a sip in the bottom. Like, there's barely any alcohol that she is pouring into it, because the bottle itself is fairly empty.
Yep. But Leo says that she's not a failure, and she's like, it's my job as the oldest sister to keep the family together. I failed at that.
He takes the bottle from her, basically cutting her off, and she says that Paige saw that Cole had turned evil and repeatedly tries to tell her. And she says over and over, so much that it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
Also, like, when you write the word.
Yeah, like the word suave, after a while, just does not look like a word anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Leo reminds her that he didn't even see Cole was evil, that Phoebe didn't see it at first, because they didn't want to see it. He says that wanting a normal, happy family is human nature. And she's like, I let Cole destroy my baby sister. That's not human nature. That's the nature of failure.
Leo says he's not going to listen to her anymore, saying that she's a good witch, and he starts to say something else, and then she freezes him.
And she's like, I told you I didn't want a pep talk. Grabs the bottle back from him, and in this shot, it kind of looks like they kept his face digitally frozen.
But his hand
wasn't.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to worry about him, like, breaking character as she grabs the bottle
Yeah.
out of it. It was a real fun shot.
Yeah, it was nicely done. She pours another very tiny shot of Jack and says that nobody listens anymore. And then
As she tosses it back.
she goes to take the sip from the drink, falls off the chair, and lands on the floor with a thud.
And then we hear her say,
ouch. It was the best, like, button on the scene. It was perfect.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And back at the AA meeting, conveniently, everyone is milling about in the hallway. Greg walks by, congratulates Aldous Hodge, named Trey, on his 30 days, and then heads for the door.
Yeah, and they kind of do this, like, little handshake, like, moment.
Yeah, handshake, fist bump thing.
Paige kind of whispers for Leo, like, why the fuck aren't you back yet? And then she follows Greg. And we see
a shot of the demon who's following them.
Finish his cup of coffee.
Yeah, like, it's one of those where it has a handle that's, like, folded in, and you just, like, pull it off, and it's, like, two, like, butterfly wings that come together and make the handle.
Yeah,
he hasn't folded those out.
No, I like those cups, though.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are really cute cups. But yeah, he finishes his little cup of coffee.
I mean, is the coffee in hell about that good?
I don't know.
Like, do demons come up from the underworld and go to A meetings literally for the coffee?
You know, possibly.
Because,
coffee and donuts are usually...
Well, yeah, that and maybe,
or coffee and
police
cookies,
precincts probably have about as good coffee as theirs. So, it's tough to find good coffee when the beans are constantly being roasted.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that was a journey. That was a journey.
Uh-huh. It's a journey I didn't even know I was taking.
Oh, that makes it... I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Well,
anyway.
I imagine it makes it worse, just like the coffee.
Anyway, we see Greg walking through an alley, and then Paige pops out the side door, and as soon as the sound of the door happens, he stops, turns around, and notices her, and asks if she's following him.
She says, strangely, and this is what she says, strangely, I am, and I would love to explain it to you. But let's go back inside by all of the people.
Yes.
And at this point, Shaggy, Bobo Shaggy, walks out of some fog in the alleyway.
Yeah, he comes from the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm. He came out the front door.
Or he just, shimmered out.
Front door.
Or he just shimmered out.
Or he came out the front door.
Anyway, he appears in the alley, and he throws an electrical bolt towards Greg. It was a lovely, yellow lightning bolt.
Yeah, with a weird foxtail thing happening.
Yeah, it was kind of...
We get a slow-mo shot of it in a bit, and it legit looks like... It looks like an electrical yellow squid being thrown through the air. Because behind it, there are, these, tendrils coming off of it.
Okay, normally... And this just shows, normally I wouldn't make this comparison, but it kind of reminded me of Pikachu tail.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminded me of. And I would not have had a clue what, that visual if we hadn't gone to see that movie.
It's less Pikachu and more Ninetales.
See, now you lost me.
It's less Pokemon, more Naruto.
Okay, yeah, I don't know Naruto at all.
That's fair.
I don't really know Pokemon at all, but we saw the movie Detective Pikachu,
well,
and that's the only reason.
I believe there actually is a Ninetales in... It's an evolution, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, now you're just making stuff up.
I'm definitely not. No, I'm pretty sure there's an evolution of Eevee where instead of going into a different element, it grows up and it gets a bunch of tails.
Okay. Sure.
I'm not lying. I may not have the best memory of this, but I am not lying.
I will believe you, because at this point I know...
Like how when Growlithe grows up, it gets more tails, I think.
Okay.
I say grow up. Evolves.
Sure.
I like to think they grow up too, though.
Okay. Anyway, Paige knocks Greg out of the way, then yells for Leo. The demon throws another electric bolt, and this time it hits Greg in the shoulder.
And then the demon pulls out an Athame, which Paige calls for.
Surprising him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very fun.
Yeah, the Athame orbs out of his hand into hers, and she tosses it, and it lands smack in the middle of his chest.
Yep, he gets vanquished, and then she races over to Greg, who's bleeding.
Very thinly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then she looks up to the sky and wonders where her sisters are, and we go to commercial break.
We get an exterior shot of P3, no now appearing sign, no people, doors are wide open.
Yep.
Inside, Leo is still frozen, and Piper is unconscious on the floor as Paige orbs in with Greg. She very awkwardly climbs over the railing
and
to get to Piper.
I'm going to admit the fact that it took me a good 10 minutes to think of the word railing.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason...
Were you railing at yourself the entire time?
Possibly. No, but, like, for some reason, I just could not think of what that was called. Because I'm like, it's not a wall. It's not a fence. What the fuck is it? Like, my brain just wasn't working.
It's not a wall.
I don't know why that's so funny to you.
It just is.
But yeah, like, I just, for some reason, could not think of the word rail.
It's not a banister. It's not a fence, but not a wall.
Yeah, but like
walls are solid, darling.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, it's not a wall because it's not solid. It's not a fence because it's not a fence. Like, what the fuck is the word? It took me so long to think of the word railing, and I felt bad about it. But I wanted people to know this.
You should just a little bit.
I do. I feel bad about it. I wanted people to know this because I am human, and my brain doesn't always work. Anyway, so Paige climbs over the wall. Nope. God damn.
Oh, please leave that in.
Paige climbs over the railing to get to Piper, and then sees the empty glass beside Piper,
which
kind of like
Piper handily smacks with her arm.
Leo is still frozen, so she goes over and shakes Leo,
and he finishes his sentence with "and a good sister."
Yeah.
And then notices Paige,
and she's like, "You were frozen." And then she kind of points at Piper and goes, "I'm assuming demons didn't get to her."
And he says, "More like inner demons." And
yeah.
he can't believe that she froze him.
Yeah, he's in disbelief. Like, why would she have done such a thing? I'm sorry, have you met her?
Also kind of ties in with the episode where Piper was evil and froze him.
Yeah. It's like, I can't believe she did that.
She's done it before.
Yep.
She'll do it again. She'll probably blow you up, too, so get ready for that.
Spoilers. He asks Paige if she's okay. She replies, barely, and says that they sent a different demon this time, so they must really want this guy dead.
Mm-hmm. She then tells Leo that he has to heal Greg and orb him somewhere safe while she puts her family back together.
And Leo, heads over to Greg. We don't see him heal Greg, but we know that he does. And she asks if he can heal Piper, and he says that he can't heal self-inflicted wounds. And then Paige laments being down 2 sisters. But didn't he heal Piper's paper cut back in episode 311?
Yeah, but that was only self-inflicted in that she was the tool. It was not intentionally self-inflicted.
So it was more an accidental?
If she stabbed herself on purpose, I don't think he could heal that.
Okay.
If it was, she was possessed hang on, he did heal her from being stabbed by technically physically herself, but she was being possessed at the time.
Okay.
But that wasn't her doing it, so he could heal that.
Yeah.
But...
Which is why I asked about the paper cut.
The paper cut is accidental. She didn't intend to cut herself. So that's healable.
Okay.
But, she intended to get blackout drunk.
Okay.
And you can't heal a hangover.
Yes.
It's all about intent. Because this is magic.
Yes. See,
it's not baking.
I just wish that it had been worded slightly differently. Because it's not that it's a self-inflicted wound. It's more like, I can't heal drunk.
Yeah.
Would have been better.
You
know what I mean?
It's also slightly confusing phrasing, though.
Because
if he's drunk, can he heal?
I don't know if he can even get drunk.
I can't heal the drunk.
However that would be worded. My point is...
Or hangovers.
My point is that saying that he can't heal her because she's just drunk, she's not actually hurt, would be
I can't heal that!
Anyway, Paige kind of slaps Piper, and she does it in a weird way. She does this, cupped hand on her neck as, a wake-up motion, and we just hear Piper come to with, ah!
I think that's more for the noise.
Yeah. It was
definitely...
definitely...
It's right below her ear, and so she just hears, the noise, going
Yeah.
The only other way to do it would just be like smack the ear, but that's a little damaging.
Yeah, it was just an interesting way of waking someone up. That's
Yeah.
all. But I just love the fact that like Piper kind of wakes up with this like weird yell sound. Like, ah! It was very funny. Anyway, inside Phoebe and Cole's bedroom at the apartment, Phoebe walks past the plant that she poured the tonic into, and it is dying.
Oh yeah.
It is so wilted and just
Like, someone-
dying looking.
Someone from production must have taken it out and put it in their car and then brought it back in for this scene.
Yeah, like it is absolutely wilting to death.
Mm-hmm. Like, this is what happened when I accidentally left some groceries in the car
Ooh.
during the summer, and there was a package of arugula in there, and it was effectively slime by the time I got back out.
Yeah, he's no good.
No, don't
No
do
good.
that. I learned not to do that with anything.
Yes. But she doesn't seem to notice the plant at all at this
She's
point.
pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
And then
And
the
then-
seer walks in with another glass of tonic.
And she's just holding the glass, no tray this time. And she says that it's time to take her tonic. And Phoebe immediately goes, begs, saying that if she promises to never save any innocents with her sisters, can she please see them?
And the seer says she'll feel better after the tonic, and that's when Phoebe finally looks past her and notices the plant. She, of course,
Freaks out a little bit.
Yes, assumes the tonic is poison. Seer's like, no. And Phoebe's like, you told me it was good for me. Seer's like, yeah. So Phoebe yells that the seer is lying, and the seer says that, the night before you were strong, and now you're whining.
It's unbefitting of a queen. No. Phoebe asks what's in the tonic. The seer says that it's pure evil for the baby to feed on in order to get strong, and that the goodness in Phoebe gets weaker the stronger the baby gets.
Phoebe, of course, says the seer is trying to destroy her. The seer says she's trying to help give her clarity instead of confusion, conviction instead of pain.
Phoebe is like, you took away my will. And the seer's like, no, you made the choice to stand by your husband all on your own. Don't risk all of your lives, your life, your husband's life, your baby's life, by questioning your choices now. And
Seer,
then,
of course, then tells her to drink the tonic and disappears.
and then Phoebe looks down and clutches at her stomach.
And then we cut to the underworld as Cole flames in. We're back in that coronation room. There's tons of people, and now the bars look like swords.
Mm-hmm.
It's real cool.
Cole spots Dane, asking him, who gave him the authority to call this meeting and summon him?
The Danish.
Oh, God, no. Dane says that I did summon you, but I'm not the one that called this meeting. We all called this meeting.
Cole says that someone had better speak, and Dane starts to say something, and Cole's like, not
No.
you.
Yeah, somebody else. The demon who was arguing with Malik earlier, our CD demon,
Our vinyl demon.
makes his way through the crowd.
And he says that Malik is missing. Which makes me think they were boyfriends or something. Like, argue in public, but in private, really care.
They're frenemies.
They're boyfriends.
Sure.
They're enemies to friends to lovers.
Sure.
I love that trope.
Anyway, he says Malik is missing, that the charmed ones are guarding his mark, his target, and that the queen has been working with her sisters to interfere with the kill.
Cole looks at Dane, wondering how the news spread, and Dane says that they were under the impression that the power of three no longer existed.
Cole then says that the queen is pregnant and prone to hormonal fits, but that the power of three is, in fact, extinct.
And it definitely reads like the excuse that it is.
Yep, he starts to walk off, and then Dane asks who killed Malik.
Which is a jump.
Which is a jump because he was there when it happened. But he's kind of asking it in this way of is the source going to tell the truth?
Well,
in front
also,
of this group.
He jumps from Malik is missing to who killed him.
Yes.
Which was not stated. Malik
Yes,
is
that too.
missing. Where is he? That's...
Yes, absolutely. But Cole,
Cole honestly could have just been probably the charmed ones. I don't know.
he could have been, but he didn't. He stops, he turns back, stares Dane down, and is like, I did. And you kind of hear the crowd go, ooh. And then he says that he did it because he was convinced that Malik was about to betray him. And he says it at Dane in such a pointed way of I should have killed you, you bastard.
You fucker.
And it's dude, you killed the one who literally was I didn't tell anyone else. I came to you. I am loyal to you. And you killed the one guy who wasn't. Like you didn't kill the one guy who wasn't loyal.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're a moron. Dane says that the mark still lives, meaning Greg.
Cole tells Dane to assign someone to finish the task,
And Dane's like, you already tried that.
so Cole asks if Dane is questioning him, and Dane gets up in his face.
Yeah. He says that the innocent is in the hands of the witches, and that until there's evidence of the queen's hormones being under control, that Cole should take out the target personally. And then there's a beat.
For morale.
Cole says nothing, just stares Dane down, and then flames out.
Yeah, like this is possibly one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. And I didn't realize how much of it I remembered in terms of, like, dialogue.
Uh-huh.
But, like, there were just points where I would then say the thing right before the thing was said. And I was just like, oh, I was just responding. I didn't realize that I had internalized the script that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was one of them.
Yeah. For morale.
It's not even a for morale. It's a femoral. Like,
Yeah.
like femoral artery. Like it's a little
Sure.
more sanguine. But
Sure.
we cut to a shot of a blender full of something red and an egg being added into the middle of it. I think this is a Vitamix blender.
I don't know. That I could not tell you. We are in the kitchen at the manor. Paige is making a hangover cure for Piper.
Yet another, apparently, because there's several cups on the table in front of Piper where she's laying her head down.
Yeah, she's just kind of sitting at the table. Her head is in her arms. Blah. Piper asks how many hangover cures Paige has, and Paige replies that she has a lot because there was a time in her life when she needed them. A lot.
Piper groans at the sound of the blender being very loud and throws her arms over her head. And
It was a very, very grindy sounding
Yeah.
blender.
and then apologizes to Paige. She says it's one thing when your sister has a husband that you can't stand. It's another when he's the source of all evil.
Paige then pours the stuff in the blender into a cup and takes it over to Piper, telling her to drink up because they've got work to do.
Piper says she doesn't think she'll survive losing another sister, and Paige says that Phoebe was different today.
Piper says, yeah, she was nuts. Which I just thought was great.
Yeah.
And Piper's like, no, but she cared about us and Greg. And we might actually have a chance to get her back. This is our chance. This is our moment.
Piper asks how, and Paige says that they need to storm the penthouse, bring the crystals, and use the spell they already know to vanquish the source like they did last time.
Piper reminds her that this time Cole is the source and wonders if Paige really thinks that Phoebe will say the spell to vanquish him with them.
Paige says, if she doesn't, they die. And Piper's like, is that meant to be comforting? And Paige says, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
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 The good in Phoebe is fighting to the surface, and she doesn't think that Phoebe would stand by and watch Cole kill them.
Piper asks if Paige is willing to bet her life on it, and Paige is like, aren't you? Which I thought was a great moment.
Yeah, talk about ride or die.
Yeah.
Piper says that Paige is amazing since just a year ago she was an only child.
And Paige says that she doesn't want to be one again. And then Piper grabs her drink and her jacket and stands up. And Paige is like, okay, let's go. I'll get the crystals. They head out of the kitchen and we see Piper putting her jacket on.
And then we cut to Phoebe walking into the foyer. As soon as they notice her, she walks up to them and says that Cole is going to kill Greg Conroy and she can't let that happen. Piper asks what she wants to do, and Phoebe's very, reluctantly says, I think we have to vanquish Cole. And Paige
smiles.
There's a bit of a continuity error in this, just with Paige's hair or whatever. Because there's a slightly farther shot where Paige has kind of a neutral expression on, and her hair's a little bit wilder or something. And then it cuts in, and suddenly her face is happy, and her hair is a little more tame. It's a bit odd.
Notice.
But either and her facial expression changed so much between those two. It was a little bit weird. But she's
the close-up shot, she was absolutely smiling.
She's I knew it. I knew you were ready.
Yeah.
A little too happily, frankly.
A little bit.
And Phoebe says that they have to use Greg as bait.
Paige, of course, questions this because he's an innocent, but Phoebe says that Cole is looking for him and he'll find Greg wherever he is, so he's safest at the manor.
Piper says they'll have Leo bring Greg to the manor and orm him out as soon as Cole arrives. Phoebe says that...
Then they'll vanquish Cole. Paige says she'll get the crystals and she heads upstairs. And Piper starts to say how much she knows that Phoebe loves Cole, and Cole's like, I can't get emotional or I'm not going to be able to go through with this.
Paige comes back down with the big box holding the crystals, and Piper calls to Leo to bring Greg. Leo orbs in with him, and Paige asks how long it'll be until Cole gets there.
And then suddenly, Phoebe changes into Cole, saying, sooner than you think.
And then turns and throws and, like, tosses a fireball at Greg, and he's incinerated.
And we see Leo looking on with terror.
Yeah.
Like, we can tell that because of the way they had to do this, Leo and Greg are on green screen.
Yeah.
And, like, Leo has this look of, like, It's just, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And if you just capture that moment, you're just like, what in the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah. Cole smiles at them and then flames out, leaving the girls look scared and confused, and we go to commercial break. This was the best fucking twist.
This was amazing.
It was
so well
subtle.
done.
Oh my gosh.
Like, because I had forgotten all about this. Like, I did not remember. So when this happened, I was like, oh shit! I don't like you, Cole, but that was amazing.
Uh-huh.
It was so perfectly done.
I mean, again, I've seen this episode way too much, but I didn't quite remember this was going to happen. But when Phoebe walked in and says that Cole is going to kill Greg, I'm like, we didn't establish that she knew this. Wait a second. Oh, fuck, that's probably Cole, right?
See, and I didn't catch it, though I did notice the fact that we didn't hear the front door open or close.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, oh, just because he flamed into the living room.
Well, she also has flamed in before.
Right.
So that's not that indicative.
Right, but we didn't hear it happen, and we didn't, like, hear a door. It was just, like, it just didn't really click into me that this might not be her.
Yeah.
So when the reveal happened, I was like, oh, snap! It was very well done.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. And I'm giving props to Cole for that deception. It was very nicely done.
Yes. The tip of the hat to the foreshadowing was that whole, like, we never saw him talk to Phoebe about this, so she wouldn't know.
Right.
So it was subtle, but it was there, so it wasn't, like, out of left field.
Yeah.
It was very much out of center field.
Yeah.
You know, like, it came from the pitching mound. We saw it being pitched. We just weren't looking.
Yes.
And then we
weren't watching the baseball game. We were watching the football game.
I was watching the Chilean goalkeeper pick up two of her teammates.
Okay.
That was hot. Anyway, we cut to a quick exterior night shot of the apartment building, and we see Phoebe sitting at a table in the middle of, like, the big open room, writing a letter.
And there is a glass of tonic sitting on a silver tray on the desk nearby.
Cole flames in, starting to say something, and stops when she gives him
a look.
And asks what's wrong.
She asks if he knew about what the Sears tonic really did, and then he notices the letter that she's been writing and asks if she was planning on leaving him.
She says that she wrote 2 letters, one for him and one for his sisters. We get a nice little shot of the writing. I did not read what it said, but it was a very, very nice penmanship.
It was very lovely penmanship, and I know that the shot that we saw was her letter to Cole.
Mm-hmm.
She says that she wrote 2 letters, one for him, one for her sisters, but she isn't sure which goodbye letter she's going to send.
He tells her that she'd better decide right now, and she asks again if he knew about the tonic. He says yes. She gets mad that he knew she was being poisoned with evil, and he reminds her that she took his hand and walked him through the coronation long before anyone gave her anything to drink.
She asks why he bothered with the tonic instead of just letting her think for herself, and he says that he knows what it feels like to have good and evil fighting inside you, and he wanted to save her the pain.
She says he should have trusted her to stand by him on her own, and he tells her to show him that he can trust her now that she knows what's in the tonic and how it works. She can drink it all on her own.
She stands up and about to say something, but he says that he doesn't have time for games, so she needs to drink the tonic or leave.
She asks what's going on with him, what happened, and he's like, and he says
what happened?
Yeah. What happened? You went and played demon catcher with your sisters. She's like, that's who I am. And
Yeah, she yells at him, that's who I am.
Yeah. And he says it's put them in a serious danger, and that even if she doesn't care about her life, or his life, or the baby's life, that she should care about Paige and Piper's lives.
She tells him not to threaten them. He says he's not, but that anyone who takes over from him isn't going to let them live, and that without the power of 3, they're sitting ducks.
She says she doesn't know what to do. He says she can't go back.
And he picks up the glass of tonic, saying that her only choice is to drink the tonic, and that she knows that he would never do anything to hurt her, and then begs her to drink it for them and their son.
And she hesitates and then downs the tonic in one super quick mouthful, like does a shot.
Yes, which is why I know that they cut out a shot of her doing that earlier.
Yeah.
Because she can drink it in one fell swoop.
Yeah, but it's, like, if I had to do a shot of alcohol, I'd do it that fast.
Yep.
I like a cocktail, but I don't like the straight stuff. I'm not good with the straight stuff.
I mean,
Haha.
yes.
Ha. Anyway, he hugs her, says he loves her, and that they can handle whatever happens next as long as they stay together.
She questions, what do you mean, whatever happens next? And he says the Conroy thing got serious, and he had to take care of it.
She pulls away from him, realizing that he killed Greg, and he says that he was just cleaning up her mess. And she warns him that her sisters are going to come there to the apartment, and he starts to say something about what happens if they do, but she freaks out and runs to the bathroom.
Yeah, like she starts to leave the room, and he says something about it coming down to them or us, and she runs into the bathroom, and he's calling after her, and we kind of cut really quickly into the bathroom as she throws up into the toilet, and then we cut to her washing her face.
And there's some really nice, like, blue lighting coming in from the window because she hasn't turned any of the lights on.
Yeah, it was definitely a darker...
and the outside, like, the actual full apartment is very warmly lit.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into, like, the nice blue... I just thought it looked like some nice contrast.
Yeah, it looked very nice. We hear Cole knock on the door, he calls out to her, and then when he realizes she's not going to answer, he walks back out into the living room. And we cut to
the living room as Paige, Piper, and Leah Orban. And this is where I noticed the swarming of Paige's orbs versus the columnar sort of
that is an
structure.
Word. That is a good word. I like that
Thank
word.
you. The columnar structure of Leo's orbing.
Yeah, because Leo and Piper orb together and Paige orbs in by herself. And Paige is holding the box of crystals. Cole turns around and faces them and then walks slowly toward them.
And he ends up standing in kind of the middle of this black and white tiled area where they've had the breakfast nook previously.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no table there right now.
Yeah. And like it's got a lovely like set of windows.
Yes.
Like it's not even windows. It's like
they're doors. It's doors out to the balcony.
Yeah. And it
just
feels
it's
like a very
sunroom.
wide space.
Yes.
That will come into play.
Yes. He's standing in the middle of there. Paige calls him an evil son of a bitch, and Piper blows him up. And now, so I did actually end up getting out my DVDs to watch a bit of this.
Uh-huh.
The effect of this is actually better on the DVD than it is on Netflix here. I don't know why.
I don't know.
But it's cool.
Yeah. It's like he disintegrates into these tiny little black fragments which fly around in a little circle.
Yeah, like
it's like a bunch of like swarming flies.
It's like a bunch of swarming flies in a blender.
Yeah.
Because they're all like converging on the same...
In a tornado.
Yes. They're all converging in the same...
general area.
Yeah, like the same sort of column. They're all whizzing around the same central point.
Yes.
But they're not quite coalescing yet.
Yeah. Paige starts placing the crystals on the floor around him. Piper calls out for Phoebe to come out and help them. And then the fragments of coal get pulled back together before Paige has a chance to place the last crystal.
Piper calls out to her, and then Cole hits Paige, making her fly across the room and slam into the wall above the fireplace.
She gets knocked unconscious and apparently hurt because we see that Leo runs over to her.
Mm-hmm.
One of the crystals that she was holding, the final crystal, bounces along the floor away from her.
toward the bathroom. And there was like I don't think it was the box that she brought. I think there was like a tiny little like chest on the mantelpiece that got knocked over, and you see a huge dent in the front of it.
Yeah. And Cole tells them to not make him kill them.
So Piper blows him up again.
And that's when we see Leo healing Paige. So she had to have gotten hurt somehow in that.
Yeah. Piper calls again out to Phoebe, telling her that Cole said he's going to kill them, asking her to help them.
And in the bathroom, we see Phoebe leaning against the door. She is sobbing. She begs forgiveness. And then goes into the living room as the coals of fragment are pulled back together.
The coals of fragment?
Yeah, that's what I said. As the fragments of coal are pulled back together, and a fireball appears in his hand, one of those lovely ropey fireball things.
Phoebe picks up the crystal as she exits the bathroom.
Yep.
And he sees her with it. He apologizes, meaning the fireball, and says it's for the best. She's like, I know it is, and walks over to him. The fireball disappears as she kisses him.
Yeah. Piper questions her as like, Phoebe? Kind of in this, like, what is going to happen in this moment?
Uh-huh. So
and then Phoebe walks away from Cole, like she backs up. She says, I'm sorry too, and then places the crystal in its place on the ground, and the trap is activated.
Cole cries out for her. She says she's sorry, reaching behind for her sisters. They grab her hands, and then Piper starts the spell, adding Prue's name to the list of Halliwell witches.
So we have Piper saying, Prudence, Penelope, Patricia, Melinda. And
Was Prue's name already in there?
I think she's done it once before,
Yeah.
and Prue's name was there.
Okay.
But it was in this moment where it was like, for some reason I noticed it a lot more in this moment.
Yeah. And so the
first line happens.
The first line happens, and just Cole's feet to knees erupt in flame.
And then
Phoebe says the next four names, which are Astrid, Helena, Laura, and Grace, and then up to like his waist.
And he says, I'll always love you.
And then Paige says, Halliwell witches stand strong beside us.
And then Phoebe cries as she says, vanquish this evil. And all three of them finish from time and space.
And at some point, like, the flames go up to like his shoulders, and then we get one last shot of his face before we pull out, and he becomes an explosion.
Vanquish.
He has an explosion. All of the windows out to the doors.
Yeah.
All of the doors and windows out to the balcony smash. Smoke fills up the room. There's like a scorch mark.
There's a little pile of ash that in this moment is still on fire.
It's like the Death Star explosion, but miniaturized and put in the middle of the breakfast nook.
Yeah. And then as soon as Phoebe...
And it makes more sense in this context because we all know that in space, there's no fire.
Yes. And then as soon as Phoebe walks into the middle of the room, the pile that was on fire is no longer on fire, so now it's just a little lovely pile of ash in the middle. Mm-hmm. And she's crying with her head in her hands.
The curtains are on fire.
And then the room suddenly feels like it has condensed in size. Mm-hmm. It's like it started out at like arbitrary numbers. It feels like it was at 100 feet, and now it's at 50. Like, it just gets super small all of a sudden.
It imploded.
Yeah. But it's very interesting that it was a visual, like, when Cole was in the room felt huge. And as soon as he's gone, the room just feels tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really cool effect. It might have
been the lens angle that they were using.
No, I'm sure that they were using like a fisheye lens kind of.
I don't think a fisheye quite, but like a wide angle?
Yeah,
maybe?
Like a wide angle, like it was definitely, they were making the room look bigger, and as soon as he was gone, they made it look much smaller. Mm-hmm. But it was just a really cool effect. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot.
It was a very powerful moment.
Yeah. We then have a shot that I don't think we've ever seen before, and it's one of my favorite shots of the manor. It's an exterior shot that starts out in very low light, and we see the porch light is on. And as the light turns, like as the sun comes up and it turns into day, we see the porch light go off. And it was one of those shots where, again, we go from this really powerful, like, room big to room small shot, and then this, like, the light is on, the light is off, the sun is out. It was a lovely transition shot.
It is a new day.
Yeah. They did a really good job with this transition. I loved it a lot. Anyway, on Netflix, the song that we hear playing is called Shine by Audrey Auld. A-U-L-D. She was an Australian-American country music touring singer-songwriter. She was born January 14th, 1964, and she died from cancer on August 9th, 2015, at the age of 51. It's an interesting song. I mean, it kind of fit. It wasn't too bad.
I honestly switched to the DVD at this point.
Well, according to IMDb and the Wikia.
Because the original song that was in here is called Courage, and the original song is written by a band called The Tragically Hip, but it's sung by Sarah Polley, and it was used in the soundtrack for a movie called The Sweet Hereafter, which is the only place I could find it when I had to get it from the library when I was 14? I don't know.
Interesting.
And I guess it's a movie about a group of kids that were on a bus that in winter fell into a lake or some shit, and it's the aftermath of parents and the survivors dealing with that.
Interesting.
So it's a very sad movie.
Yeah.
And this song fits very well into that.
Well, alrighty then. Now, I couldn't find out anything about Sarah being a singer, because the only thing that I could find about Sarah Polley is that she's a Canadian actress, writer, director, producer, and political activist.
Yes.
But I couldn't find anything even in her wiki page that said she was a singer. So I'm not completely positive it's the same person.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there.
I mean, when I went to find this song, because I had a problem with the DVD, there was not a scratch or something. There was some kind of residue on it that I couldn't really get off. And so for some reason, that only affected this fucking scene.
That
I was
happens.
pissed.
That
I
happens.
was super pissed. And I tried to get through most of it, but when it got to the couple of seconds at the end, it would not go no matter how much I cleaned it. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to turn on Netflix, I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to find the YouTube for this. And I searched just the song title and the band, and I found the original, and it sounds nothing like it. So I then added Sarah Polley's name onto it, and I found the track with footage from Sweet Hereafter. And I was like, okay, this is definitely the right thing. And so I just played that while watching the end of the episode. And it was like, yep, those feels, they're coming back. I used to listen to this song on repeat to make myself cry sometimes when I felt like I needed it.
Hey,
because the feels were that strong.
There you go.
Anyway, inside, Piper is leaning against the wall right at the bottom of the stairs.
And this is the same camera angle that we had in episode 418 when the vampire was waiting for Paige.
Yep.
Piper is now in a long-sleeve green V-neck shirt with jeans, and her hair is pulled half back with a chopstick barrette combo. And she still has the small diamond necklace on.
Leo walks in from the dining room. He's now got a white t-shirt under an open blue button-down and gray pants.
They kind of look like sweatpants.
Okay.
We only saw him for a split second as he's walking in, and it looked like sweatpants.
Interesting.
I don't think they were, but that it just kind of looked a little like sweatpants to me. Anyway.
He asks why she doesn't go up to see Phoebe. Piper says she doesn't know what to say, basically saying that she wouldn't know how to deal if it had been him. He hugs her as Paige walks in through the front door. She's wearing the same red-orange jacket.
Yes, which over what I am assuming is a dress, but all we see is the skirt of it, and it's white with gray stripes, some horizontal, some vertical.
Yeah.
It was a super cute skirt.
Yeah, it was a tiered skirt, where it's 3 different circles of varying diameters that are stitched to each other.
Well, that I couldn't tell.
So it's not an A line, it's not like a circle skirt, but it's if you took a circle skirt, chopped out 2 rings, and then stitched the rest of it back together.
Okay.
So that it kind of bubbles out in a way, and there's ruching. It's cute. I like it.
Okay. I don't remember that, but whatever. Anyway, it's one of those outfits where it's super cute, and I kind of wish that she had opened the jacket so we could see if it was an actual dress or what the top of it looked like, but she doesn't. She leaves the jacket on, which is fine because I like that jacket.
Yes,
it's a cute jacket.
It is. Paige asks how Phoebe is doing. Piper says she doesn't know. Phoebe hasn't come down yet. So then Paige asks how long Piper's been standing there.
Piper says that she's been there a while, and Paige says that they should go see her. Piper agrees, and they start to head up the stairs, and as soon as she gets to the first landing, she stops and wonders what if she wants to be alone.
Paige says that Phoebe is going to be alone a lot, and she needs them right now. Piper, of course, knows she's right, and they continue up the stairs.
And Leo just kind of stands at the base of the stairs looking a little awkward.
Yeah.
And then we cut upstairs as they walk into Phoebe's room.
Phoebe is lying on her bed wearing a gray zip-up fleece and red pants that looked like the same shade of burgundy as the velvet pants from last night.
But they weren't velvet.
No, they weren't.
So they weren't the same pants.
But they looked like the same color,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then it was a very light gray sort of zip-up.
Yeah.
So
but it wasn't a hoodie. It was just a zip-up.
No, it was just a zip-up. But it felt very reminiscent of the outfit from the previous night, just in a much comfier, like, oh, this is the Depression remix kind of deal.
Yeah, a little bit.
And she's crying, of course, sobbing furiously.
Yeah.
So Piper goes over, lies behind her, and then Paige goes and, like, crawls over and lies in front of her. And they comfort her. And as we go to the end credits, we hear the line in the original song, which is, "Courage couldn't come at a worse time."
Oh.
Uh-huh. And then it fades to black.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Like, I think we hit time just as we get to the first name credit.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I tried to time it like that with the YouTube video. It didn't quite work out, though. Because
Yeah.
I couldn't remember when these things were happening.
Yeah. I love the fact of this scene because it's just, they're comforting her by, like, just, you know, holding her hand and, like, you know, rubbing her fingers and just, it's a cute moment. That's a sad moment, but it's a nice moment.
Yeah, and Paige was brave enough to lie with her head on that absolutely tear-soaked pillow.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we get to see a little bit of Piper's tattoo on her wrist as she's, like, pushing Phoebe's hair back.
Yeah. It was a nice moment.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot.
Yep.
But end credits means the episode's over, which means we're on to our ratings.
Indeed.
Do you have a clue what you would like to rate this one?
I started to think of it earlier, and then it slipped out of my head.
Well then, while I tell mine, you can think of yours.
Mm-hmm.
I am giving this episode an 8.75 out of 10. Good prevails.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give this 9.25 out of 10. Poisoned plants. Again, this is definitely one of my favorite fucking episodes.
I think that's the most that you've ever rated any episode, so...
Purposefully.
Yeah. And it's one of those where, like, this would have gotten a 9 for me, but there was just something, I don't know what, there was just something about it. I was like, I don't know. So, 8.75.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was very, very close to being awesome. But there was, I think it was the Cole being stupid. Just kind of knocked it down just a little bit.
Literally 2 words would have changed that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to, like, time travel just so I can make my favorite shows a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like,
Just little
it's
tweaks.
dumb.
Little tweaks.
But, like, I don't want to affect, like, the world as a whole. The River of Time will, you know, ignore me as it goes past. I just want to, like, very slightly alter these extremely minute pieces.
Like, you don't want to throw a pebble into the river. You just want to throw a grain of sand.
Yeah.
Just a little thing.
Yeah, like, other
Teeny
people are
tiny.
like, Boulder, let's kill Hitler. And I'm just like,
No.
I just want to add 2 words to this script.
Yeah. I just want to change the word self-inflicted to drunkenness.
Yeah.
Can I just change that? Just little things. Little
Yeah.
things. Anyway, so with our ratings done, that means we are on to outfits. For me, for Piper, the main outfit without the jacket was really nice. I also liked her final outfit. Piper's just always classy.
I liked her final hair, I think, the best.
Yes, her final hair was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe, I mean, I like the purple shirt with the corset thing if it didn't have the jacket, but that leather vest skirt combo thing, best episode outfit and best series outfit so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was amazing on her.
I liked the white lace do-up with the burgundy pants because, you know, I see that and I think of this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what she wore when she killed her husband.
It's true. It's very true.
And then Paige, I love that like red-orange jacket.
Yeah, that jacket is amazing. Like, it looked really good on her. It worked really well with whatever she was wearing. So I liked it with the skirt. I liked it with the jeans. I wasn't really a fan of the original shirt with the tie thing. It was just weird to me. But like when the jacket was covering that, it was a cute outfit. So yeah.
And then let's face it, Cole's suit was just great.
I mean,
it was nicely fitted.
Yes.
It looked really good. He had great lines from the shoulders down. And the way he was standing when he gets vanquished, he just looked real cool.
So, with ratings done and outfits done, we're on to
Social
social media
media
stuff. You can, of course, email any comments, questions, queries, comments to charmchats@gmail.com. And you can find all the links to whatever we've mentioned in today's episode at the website charmchats.com.
Which is where you can also find all of the links to our Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, Redbubble, and Patreon pages.
Yep.
And if you want to join the Discord, all you have to do is email us the phrase, "We're the power of 2 plus blue," and we'll send you an invite link. This is, of course, if you're not already a patron and have gotten the Discord invite link. If you haven't, email us.
Yeah, if you're already a patron and you haven't joined the Discord because you somehow haven't gotten the link, just let us know. We will absolutely send us a message on Patreon, send us a message to an email, whatever. We will absolutely get you a link and get you in there. Because the Discord is a fun place to be. And, like...
And it doesn't have to be all charmed all the time.
Yeah, no, we talk about
other
all
shit.
sorts of stuff.
I'm currently busy sharing a lot of Good Omens fan videos.
I mean, yeah. Because Good Omens is amazing.
Yeah, and also, I'm pretty sure all of the ones I really fucking love are coming from this one YouTube channel, and I'm just like, oh, I have to subscribe to you. Like, clearly, I've liked 5 of your videos. This is gonna be a thing we're gonna keep with.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's it.
I believe that's it. So until next time,
Sleep tight. Don't let the warlocks bite.
bye.
Bye-bye.